I mean, my gosh, have you even looked at this place? Every Gigafactory construction site progress side by side for the middle of April. I'm Brian. Welcome to my Tesla weekend. Giga Shanghai. The access bridge and road to the east is coming along quite nicely. It's looking pretty close to finished, and we're seeing more concrete work over here, leading us to believe something is going on, although we're not entirely sure what at this point. Did you know that if you like a video in the first 30 seconds, it actually helps the channel grow? Me either, but apparently that's a thing. In the northeast corner, the new building up there is coming along very nicely. It's got walls on 3 of the 4 sides. The east side is still awaiting walls. The roof material is almost installed, at least on half of it, and a lot of it is looking pretty much done. As a reminder, unlike in other locations, Shanghai does not always get a second or third layer of roofing material with insulation. The massive new building in the Sliver Wedge, which the amazing Woo-Wah has suggested will be the design center, though I'm not convinced based on the absolute monstrosity of the thickness of the steelwork, is moving awfully darn quick. It's essentially all framed up. Cross members on the roof are being put in place, and we're starting to get a very good idea of what the internal square footage will be, though I have not measured it. Do you guys think this will be the design center, with floors and roofs this thick and serious? What do you think is going to be built in this part of the Shanghai Gigafactory? Let me know in the comments. I'm very curious. As a reminder, to anyone who leaves a comment or subscribes, you're automatically entered into the merch giveaway at the end of the month. One lucky winner will be selected from a subscriber or commenter on any video during the month, and a second winner will be selected from my Patreons. The northern extension to the Phase 2 building is coming along fantastically, with most of the skylights put in, most of the roof already put in place, and most of the red trim work placed around the building. They've added a substantial amount of concrete for the loading docks, and it's about as close to being done as one could hope for. The extension to the Stamping Cathedral at the south end of the Phase 1 building is moving along quickly. There's a heck of a lot more concrete already poured, with more on the way. This footing work is extraordinary, but it's required if they want to have extremely heavy equipment here and isolate the vibrations from the rest of the building, which of course is critical. And as you can see, the supporting buildings to the sides of them are also being framed in quickly and quite nicely. To the south of the Shanghai factory, where we believe the land has been acquired to extend and build the Model 2 assembly plant, very little appears to be done. They've moved some dirt around. This may or may not even be the correct ground. And for those of you scoring along at home, there are an absolute ton of Model 3s waiting for delivery in the factory yard, and it's looking so pretty. It's the time of the quarter when they stockpile them to send to Europe and other countries. Giga Berlin. I'm not going to show the front of the building this week because there's not much to see. From the exterior, the main structure is basically done. A lot of work is going on inside. They've added drainage and other utilities, but the real excitement is over here in the clearing. Tobias Lind, who allowed us use of his footage, has suggested that this area is going to be for staging and or logistics, as in when the cars are made, they'll be parked over here to be loaded onto trains to be shipped off. But you can see there is a substantial amount of earthworks underway. As soon as this area is leveled, we'll have a very good idea what's going on, and we can start to see the shape of the property unfold into its next iteration. If you haven't checked out Tobias Lind, please do so. He makes great footage throughout the week of stuff much better than these time lapses. I just use these because they're a good insight without going too far into depth. Jason Yang provides excellent material as well, and Jeff Roberts in Texas is awesome. Though I also recommend, the entire Quad Squad. At the southeast corner of the site, near the Motorworks building, they are still clearing a space which is currently labeled as warehouse, though we don't know. It could be a battery factory, it could be storage, it could be any number of things. It could be the start of a new factory to build additional models for European delivery. We're just not sure yet, but what we can see is that they're doing a lot of work. They're grading, they're clearing, they're leveling. They're getting ready to build something here. And this footage is not sped up in any way. This is how fast Germans actually work. Das glaube ich, aber weiß ich nicht. Ich habe keine Ahnung. There's been a lot of talk about delays from permitting in Berlin, but that doesn't seem to be the case since construction continues regardless. They always knew they would be working on an interim or temporary or provisional permit, which they have continued to do all along. Giga Texas. On the west side of the highway, the land is being cleared faster and faster. We don't yet know for certain what's going to be built over here, though there are rumors that it could be the new SpaceX construction plant for Starlink, satellite dishes, and or supporting equipment, but we're not sure. What we can see is that it's working very quickly, and that there are crews here every day, even on weekends, and that it's quickly coming back to level, which of course is helpful when it comes to construction. The main structure has seen an awful lot of progress this week. To the right, you can see a lot more steel has been erected, but that's not the big point. The big point is everything. There's new footings in this northeast corner. There's a lot more roof work done, like a lot more. And as we go down the east side, there's one concrete panel on the exterior, but an awful lot of work on the inside that we can't quite see. Most of it on the very first floor, where most of the assembly robots have already been installed and are getting ready to start their work. More utility work, drainage, and other critical site elements have been completed, or at least begun this week, around the site, which is, important. If you're following the weekly GigaMath progress tracker, this one is going to be, pretty exciting. I know I say that every week, but this one actually is. It's going to jump by 2%. So if you haven't seen that one, definitely check it out, and let me know what you think of my math in the comments over there. A huge thank you to my Patreons who get early access, bonus material, an ad-free experience, and keep the channel running for as little as $1 a month. YouTube famously pays frig all, and I can't do it without you guys. So welcome to Brian O'Rear at the Coolio level, and Benjamin H. Berry Jr. and Andy D., who both upgraded to the Coolio level. Very cool. The Southwest Prairie has had, more footing work completed. Up along the central corridor, you can see a large green wall, which will be a fire break from the paint shop to the new excavation area going on there, where additional structures will be built. The steel structure on the west has come further south, with a lot more roof panels installed as well as more floor panels, and throughout this entire structure, more concrete flooring has been poured. If you peer in along the west side, you'll see new staircases being installed, new elevator shafts being completed, and even masonry work around the stairs to, get it finished. Getting back to the northwest corner, where the battery factory is expected to be, we can see not just that vastly more steel has been put in place, but roof decking, floor decking. The place is screaming along, and there is no shortage of steel left on site to continue this work. On various days, we've seen anywhere from 3 to 6 cranes active at any given time, and in the bottom you can see the entire western wall of the paint shop has been closed to the elements this week, which will allow for interior work to move forward unabated. At the northernmost end of the building, you can see concrete exterior walls going up, indicating that the entire paint shop will very soon, as in perhaps in the next few days, be closed off to the elements for final completion. I mean, my gosh, have you even looked at this place? Over on the east side, the swampy area that had been started to be filled way back months ago is getting real close to done with grading, final filling, and it's starting to look real nice. So what did I miss or misunderstand? Leave me an ear platter in the comments, my friends. And stay tuned, stay juicy, and I can't wait to hear from you clever robots on the flippity flop.